Hi, I'm Nixon. Welcome to Video Basics. In this video, I'll show you about the hand tools and some accessories for you to do your own DIY projects. First, I'll show you on the measuring tools. This is just a simple steel ruler, but it's a very useful tool because it measures a precise measurement at up to a millimeters. Okay. This is called a square. The square makes sure that your workpieces are in 90-degree angle. If you want to mark any line or anything, I use the set square. This is called the Vernier Caliper. The Vernier Caliper is a very useful tool to measure circumference. So there's two parts of the Vernier Caliper. The bigger part is to measure the bigger outer circumference of an object, and also the inner part is to measure the inner diameter of the object. Okay. So this is a very common tool which is called a measuring tape. It comes in various lengths. So it's very useful to measure long objects where you just extend out the hand, and then you can lock it in place so that it doesn't retract back, and then you start measuring your objects. Okay. These are three types of spanners. So the first type I'll show you is the adjustable spanner. The second one is a manual spanner, and then this is called the ratcheting spanner. The adjustable spanner, by its name, it shows that it's being able to adjust to the size that you want. So this is a more economical tool where you can unlock or unscrew those various type of bolts that you need to unscrew. Okay. So this is a manual spanner. It's a fixed size. This is a 17 mm manual spanner. So this is just nice for 17 mm bolts or nuts. So if you want a different size of bolts and nuts, you have to purchase a different spanner. This is called the ratcheting spanner. A ratcheting spanner, basically it works like a manual spanner. It has a fixed size. So for example, like this bolt here, we use the manual spanner to tighten it. So as you tighten, right, you have to take it out and then put it back to the head and then tighten it again. But for the ratcheting spanner, you don't have to do that, because when you tighten, you can actually automatically reload and then you can start tightening again. So this is a faster tool that you can use for tightening bolts or loosening bolts. So this is a plier. A plier is a multi-purpose tool where you use to hold things like you want to take out a screw, or you want to remove a nail, or anything at all. This is a multi-purpose tool which is very useful for you in your own DIY projects. Okay, this is called a G-clamp. There's a different type of clamp. It's called the F-clamp. So a G-clamp is a slightly more old-fashioned tool where you use it to clamp your pieces together, but you have to use this back here to scroll all the way down, and then you clamp your pieces. But for example, the F-clamp is a more advanced tool where you don't have to scroll all the way down. You can just adjust it by the neck based on the sizes of the workpieces that you're working on. These are two screwdrivers. They are different heads. So one is the flat head, which is to match the flat head screws, and then this is called the Phillips head to match the Phillips head screws. There's also another type of fastening tool, which is the Allen key. The Allen key has various sizes. So choose the size that matches the Allen screw. An Allen screw looks something like this. Has a hexagonal shape. So for example, for this size, you choose the size that matches it. So once it locks, you can either unscrew or you can screw. Okay. So this is two different sizes of chisels. So a chisel is actually to carve out wood, or maybe if you want to make a little notch in the wood. Later I'll show you how to use these two tools. So it's basically a cutting tool for woodworking. Okay. Apart from chisels, there's files where you can smoothen edges. You can smoothen like wood wood work that if it's a rough surface, you can use this tool instead of a sandpaper. So this is a very useful tool as well. So let me show you how to use the chisel by using a mallet and the chisel. So like for example, if you want to make a little notch out of the wood, so first what you have to do is you take the handsaw and then you cut on both sides of the notch that you want, okay? And then you place it down on the side and use the chisel, put it on the depth that you want to cut, and then you start knocking the back. Okay, so this is how you create a notch. So as you can see, the part of the wood that you want to create the notch is already out. So by using the chisel, you can actually flatten the surface. Or if you don't want to use that, you can use a file or a rest, which is a rougher type of file, to smoothen the notch. Okay. Right. Okay, so I'll show you a bit of accessories that you can use as well for projects. One of it is the anchor bolts. So this anchor bolts actually is a fastening tool, that's fastener as well to put like your frames, or you want to install steel into concrete. So basically, first to install this, you have to drill a hole into the concrete or masonry or brick wall. So after you drill the hole, insert this in, and then you start locking the nut. So how does this work? Is actually when you lock the nut, right, the bottom part expands. So once it expands, it grips into the masonry or brick wall. So once it grips, it's actually a very strong fastening into concrete. Another type of wall anchor is also this, called a wall plug. It's a plastic wall plug where you drill a hole into the masonry or brick wall as well. Insert this, you put the screw in, and then this part will expand as well. So there's those little extended part on the outside, it will grip into the concrete and then it holds into the brick wall. Okay, there are a few joinery types of accessories. This is called the L brackets. They come in different sizes. Depending on your work pieces, you choose the ones that you need. If I want to join a horizontal surface with a vertical piece, I'll use it like this. Okay, so I can use a different size as well, like that. So depending on the strength or the number of screws that you want to put into the wood. Okay. Okay, so one more thing, I'll show you some accessory of installing a window. So this is a window, and this is called the hinges. Okay, so the hinges is installed, the circular portion on the outside where you want to turn the window onto. So which means if you want a window to turn this way, the circular part has to face that way. Okay, so for example, like this. Okay, if you want it the other end, you want to turn backwards, that's how you turn it. Alright, so there's also a part called the latches. So this is a window latch to stop the window from like flapping. So this is how you shut the window. Okay. So you can latch on to the hook. Alright. So these are the few basic hand tools that you can use, and a few accessories for your DIY work pieces. So thank you. I hope you join us for assessment part 2 at the facility.